All right, let's talk about the importance of a morning routine or whenever you get up. Um, for me, for me, it's important to first thing I do is meditate. Doesn't have to be perfect. I do transcendental meditation. You can do whatever type of meditation works for you. You can build it up. Doesn't have to be long. I do it for about 22 minutes. Um, you can start off 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's just something good for you to just sit there and reflect and, you know, kind of like, how you exercise for your body and exercise also works for your brain and stuff like that. But this is more for your mind, when you meditate and stuff like that. It's a great stress reliever. There's a lot of good benefits to meditating. And I've tried meditating like years back, but it's nothing like ever stuck with me. And I've tried most recently, like let's say a couple years back, I also tried like different mindfulness meditations and stuff like that, and that's when I got to more into it. But when for me, what clicked was transcendental meditation, and I do that twice a day, morning and evening, 22 minutes each. But it was interesting because years back, I want to say like 10 years back, it didn't really like work for me. And that's what they said. They're like, I know it's tough for you to sit by yourself and kind of like, your thoughts and try to like, I guess it was because from what I remember, I was trying to control my thoughts and stuff like that. And there was still other things like that I needed to work on, you know? It's like, I was anxious and like too stressed and meditating for me at that time wasn't just one thing that was going to work. I had to work on other things as well. But recently, I've been doing it for 2 years now. I've been doing transcendental meditation, and ever since like the first time I tried it again, I noticed a big difference. Like, I was one of those people where I couldn't drive if it wasn't with like music blasted and stuff like that. Like, I needed something in the car. I couldn't be in silence. You know what I'm saying? When I'm driving, usually by myself and stuff like that, I always needed music. And it couldn't be low. It had to be blasted. Like, it has to be loud. I don't know. I didn't notice it at the time, but afterwards when I got into meditating, I was like, how I noticed it was because my mother could drives in silence. Like when I used to get in the car with her, like no radio, nothing. I'm like, how is this lady driving with no music on? And that's how I kind of came aware, like, oh shit, I always have music on. I always feel like I have to have something blasted. But yeah, but when I started meditation, even like the first time I did it again this time around, it was like different. It was like I really noticed like I felt a little bit at peace, like less stressful and stuff like that. But thinking about it now too, it must have been like, because now I was more into exercising and stuff like that. I started going to the gym. So I was sweating. So, that helps with your mindset, with your stress, releases cortisol and stuff like that. Releases neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, you'll get inspiration throughout the day, stuff like that. If you want to look into more into that, look into BDNF, what that does for you. Also, shout out to Robin Sharma. That's where I heard it from too, when I first started out. So I think it was like a mix of I was already going to the gym, kind of like sweating first thing in the morning, so that was helping me with my stress. But I was doing that more towards for my body, right? I was thinking like working out was for my body, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get fit. I wanted to, get some muscle in and all that stuff. But when I got into listening to the 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma, he was talking about getting your mind right. Not only your body, but your mind right and your soul, your spirit. So I was like, I got the body stuff right. I need something for my mindset. Like, even though I did the little meditations, listening to the videos and stuff like that, it wasn't clicking. And also, like, I would skip it. Like, after the gym I wouldn't make time for it. And the excuse was, oh, I put in extra time at the gym, so I'm doing something good. But I wanted something to stick. Like, I needed more structure around it. So that's when I started Googling meditation and stuff like that. And I came across Transcendental Meditation. You can do that yourself. I'm sure they have, like, different locations in the States and stuff like that. But whatever works for you, it doesn't have to be that. So I got into Transcendental. And yeah, I really noticed a difference. Like, it helped with anxiety. It helped me, like, I didn't need certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, drinking coffee, like, things like that. Like, whether it was caffeine or, like, smoking weed, or, like, I noticed that. Like, it was something for me to regulate myself, regulate my nervous system. And, like, one thing for me, though, what I did, and I still do, I like to read into stuff and remind myself, like, why am I doing it? Like, what is it good for? The benefits. It like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you believe comes true for you, right? So I don't just, like, oh, they tell me this and that is good, because it's good for you. And then, like, a week later, 2 weeks later, like, I reinforce it to myself. Like, this is what it does for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's true or not, like, just to kind of, like, trick my brain into believing that, to benefit me, you know what I'm saying? To make me better, to get those benefits. And, like, also to keep me doing it. Because, when you first start something out, depending on what it is, you might not, you know what I'm saying? One day you might just be like, I don't feel like it. Or, like, forget it. I could miss it. But, like, reminding myself of the benefits and how I feel after, and the examples throughout my day that's gotten better. Like, I know, like, this would have bothered me if back in the day versus now. Like, I see the difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? When crazy people, family, come towards me and their intention is to start some drama or some bullshit, I just let it slide, because I already know, like I have time to. That was one of the big things for me too. Like, I had time now. Like, I had awareness. Yo, that was number one thing when I started meditating. Like, I became aware of myself, like, aware of my patterns, aware of why I was doing this, why I was doing that. Like, it made me go into myself and say, like, it was like questions like, why do I feel like this, right? Like, let's say I was going through some situation and I felt some type of way, I didn't like this feeling, or, like, um my nervous system will react a certain way. So I'm like, why do I feel like this every time this happens? And then I would just start, like, researching, Googling, YouTubing, and I'll come across a video that talk about exactly what I was feeling. And once I was aware of why I felt that way, I would work towards that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anxiousness, regulating your nervous system, just knowing things, like knowing my attachment styles and relationship, things like that. Like, meditation was one of the things that helped me a lot. Like, combined with exercise and sweating first thing in the morning, I got to know that something about myself. Like, when I was younger, I remember, like, I was always, like, I don't know how to call it, but, like, I always had this, like, thing, like, I like to move my body. Like, I like to train it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even playing in the playground and stuff like that, I'll hang on to the things and kind of do little flips on it. Like, things that my cousins or my sister wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying? But I like to challenge my body, type of thing. So back at, like, a few years back, or my early 20s, whatever, I have gone to the gym and stuff like that, but I probably done, like, a year, and then it kind of, like, just fell off and stuff like that. I never, like, kept with it, right? And, like, as we grow older and stuff like that, we're not really moving. You know what I'm saying? We go to work, depending on what it is. Like, I used to work at a warehouse too, so I was really active there. But it's kind of like not the same thing. Even though you're lifting heavy boxes and all that, and I did sweat and it was tough. I used to work, all day, like 6 in the morning to sometimes 11 o'clock at night. I used to put in extra hours. But it's like different when you're challenging your body and like, training muscle and stuff like that. Like, I like it, even though it's hard. And you get to that moment, like I've noticed too, like more recently, like when you're pushing yourself and you're getting to that point where, your body is in pain and your mind wants to give up. And it's like, that's when I go in. I'm like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Or I'll tell myself something like this, how, like, some shit that will motivate me and stuff like that. And then I just push through it. And it's funny because you get to that. Sometimes you get toward that, when you're pushing and challenging your body, you get to that point sometimes where you almost want to cry. Like, you know what I'm saying? The pressure's so hard that it's like, ah, shit, this is so painful, whatever. But in a good way. I'm not saying like you're breaking your body or something like that, but in a good way, you're pushing yourself. You know you could go more. But because your mindset is set to this limit, you think like, oh no, I can't push through this. Like, this is it. Something bad's gonna happen. But no, that's when the good shit happens. When you push through that, it's like, damn, I just became stronger. Not only physically, but mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that gives you confidence too. Like, that gives you confidence to try shit you never tried before and to push yourself further than, the limits you have for yourself. So, combination of meditation and exercising has really helped me a lot, mentally, physically. Like, I've even like noticed the difference. In the beginning, I just felt so good. I felt so happy. Like, when you first try shit out and you feel like good, inspired and stuff like that. And I was happy, and you fall back to certain ways. And I didn't know at the time because I was going through it, but it's like, then I would like feel like shit, like I fell off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mostly with the meditating stuff, I wouldn't be as consistent, or I'll miss a meditation or stuff like that. And I was kind of hard on myself, and it's like, it's okay because you're building this up. Like, this is how it goes. As long as you don't stop, like, it's okay to fall off. You know what I'm saying? But falling off also taught me like how I felt when I did it, and and reminded me of how you feel, the difference of when you stop and when you were doing it, right? Like how I would feel and stuff like that. And like I would have these little moments throughout my day. It doesn't have to be every day, you know what I'm saying? But like this morning when I meditated, worked out, came home, and then you got those family members that like to start stuff. They got that energy early in the morning, and they just want to talk about nothing. And they just want to, what you call it? That's their energy to just go off or start talking some junk, whatever, just to whatever. So if it would have been back in the day, I would have like fall into it, not even see what they doing. Not even see it coming. Now I already know what's gonna happen. I see it coming. I know what they're doing. They say this, but they really mean something else. They're trying to get under your skin. And it's like, I just stay quiet because I'm like, it's not even worth me responding or paying no mind to you. And it's like, and I don't mean it in a mean way. Like, I love my family and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? Certain shit, I'm just not about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about that shit no more. I got other things that I'm working on, and it is amazing when you let shit like that go. Like, when you better yourself, like, you don't want to fall back into the same ways. You know what I'm saying? And then in that first, let me tell you something. I used to want to make them change and tell them, hey, do this. Like, listen, you do this because of that. And And I had to learn my lesson. Like, they would take that as an attack. Like, they always like, it was always a back and forth. We ended up always in the back and forth, because they would take it like I was coming, like I was attacking them, or criticizing them. It didn't matter which way I would say it to them. I could say it with love, I could say it in a harsh way. And by harsh, I mean like just blunt, and it don't matter. You could say it with kindness, you could say it whatever, and it's like they take it wrong, because they don't want to change. They don't want to. They're comfortable. They want to stay comfortable. And you know what? I had to learn myself. Like, don't try to change people. Like, just accept them from who they are, and set your boundaries, and just let them know what you're gonna be putting up with, and how they should if they want me in their lives, like, how you gonna approach me, and the shit you gonna talk to me about. Because some stuff don't come talk to me about. I'm not with all the bullshit and all the drama and all that shit. But it's like little things like that, just awareness. I learned how, and because of that, I learned how to respond, not react to people, my family, and like just see things, just see people's intentions, and and things like that. And it's like, it's great benefits, like meditating also with the stress. Like, instead of running off to needing an energy drink or coffee, or even drinking alcohol, like, I could notice the true difference, like when I got into more meditating and doing it, and just learning how to breathe, and also my thoughts, what I was thinking about, what am I telling myself, what am I believing in, is it true? Like, learning how to, I guess, learning how to think differently. We'll get into that more in another video, into the criticism, self-criticism, and all that shit. But like, I've been doing this for 2 years, over 2 years, maybe 2.5, and the meditation stuff, and it's like, it's made me aware of a lot. Made me aware of who I was, who I want to be, like the people around me, be more present, enjoy the little things in life. And one of the other things that I've said also, that I kind of didn't say it, but is in there, the third thing that I adapted to as well, besides exercising and meditating, is learning. Robin Sharma has this thing about doing it 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes of exercising, making sure you sweat, 20 minutes of meditating, reflecting on something, journaling, and 20 minutes of learning something new. And let me tell you something, that learning thing, it brings you far. Like, when I was in it, yeah, I saw that I learned things here and there, but it wasn't like a great benefit, because I still had a long way to go, you know what I'm saying? But from what I could tell you looking back, certain things I learned brought me to other things, you know what I'm saying? And I started off just looking up, like at work, I remember just looking up certain words I didn't understand, like not just passing it, you know what I'm saying? Whether, like, I don't know, I'm reading something, policy, instructions, whatever it may be, and it's like what they say, I didn't understand that, like looking that up. I remember I started off like kind of like that, like looking into stuff. And then somehow I just got into personal development, like listening to videos, how to become that better version of yourself. And Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, a lot of people. And I just never stopped. Like, and it wouldn't be something I do for 20 minutes a day. It's something I do throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? If you have one of those jobs where you could put an earbud in and listen to stuff, that's what I used to do. Yeah, and I'm not saying like it was always, learning and all that perfect shit. You know what I'm saying? I had some entertainment in between and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to be as strict on yourself and all that. You don't have to be like so structured, but like pop it in. Start off 10 minutes of something that's gonna listen to something that's gonna better you. Whether it's for your mind, like giving you peace, even like something that makes you laugh. That's I think that's really important too. Like they say laughter is good for the soul and stuff. I think that's really good. I like seeing people laugh because not many people out here laughing. You know what I'm saying? They're just, it's tough and it's understandable. But at the same time, I think that we have a choice to focus on what we want to focus on. You know what I'm saying? And that makes a great difference. Because if you want to focus on bullshit, more bullshit will come to you. But if you want to focus on good things in life, even if it's small, even if it's just going for a walk, enjoying the flowers, different type of flowers you see out there, the plants, you know what I'm saying, cute little rabbits, whatever it may be, like just the birds, just your kids, whatever, man, just enjoying those moments, like those small moments, like just enjoying that. Because we get caught up in all the bullshit, all the stress, all the, all the things that go around that we don't like treasure those small moments that can make a big difference of how we see life, you know what I'm saying? But those are a few things that those are the 3 major things I do in the morning. First thing I do is meditate. I get up, I meditate, get ready for the gym, do the gym. And then during the gym, I'm also like learning and stuff like that. When I first started doing this a couple years back, I used to also journal. Like sometime during the day, I used to put that in just to get my thoughts out, That's another way to kind of clear your mindset, kind of get your thoughts together. Just a lot of stuff you can do with journaling, you know what I'm saying? Get to know yourself, figure out your goals, whatever you want. And if you're not sure what to write about, just Google some prompts and stuff like that. ChatGPT, just ask, in order for me to do this, what are some good journal prompts or whatever. But also with the exercise and stuff, like I've noticed when I don't do it, it's crazy because like you wake up in the morning and you're so tired, right? And we all have those days. But when I don't go and I don't do it, I notice a big difference. Like in my mentality, like I'm not as definitely not as energized as after I go to the gym. And it's crazy, right? You would think like you slept in, you'd be more rested and stuff like that. Sometimes it's like no. Sometimes I feel like it's just like we want to stay in bed because we don't want to deal with the day coming up. But man, that's another one. That's why we gotta structure our, what we can control. Just do what we can, and then if we don't, we just let that shit go, man. And have trust in God, trust in whatever you believe in. Like, trust that they want the best for you, and everything's gonna work out for you. And think about a time in the past where you've been in probably a similar situation where you didn't know what was going to happen or this and that, but it worked out. You had it. You know what I'm saying? God is here to help you. God is here to guide you if you ask. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really notice a big ass difference when I don't go to the gym versus when I do. When I go to the gym, I'm uplifted. I'm like high energy. Like my mood's different. Like it's awesome. And then when I don't go, like I could tell, I could almost feel like the cortisol. Like I never like, you know what I'm saying? I just started learning about those things recently in the last couple of years. Really, hearing the the different types of hormones and stuff like that. But now, like, I really notice the difference. Like, I could even feel like the little bit of anxiety, the little bit of like trying to build up and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I had to move my body. That's what it was. If I would have moved my body, I wouldn't be feeling like this today. And it's not like that all the time, but it's like, you know, when you go into certain situations in life. But yeah, that's really helped me a lot. And it's like, I don't drink coffee. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the summertime, I do like my BCAAs and stuff to stay hydrated and stuff like that. But in the wintertime, the most caffeine I'll do is tea, green tea, and put a little lemon and lime on it. No sugar. I don't do honey or sugar. I just do straight tea, and that's only sometimes. But I do it more for the taste, or like to have something hot to drink. But nah, I feel like energy, you get it like exercising, moving your body, and it doesn't have to be the gym. It could be you stretching in the morning, you know, running in place. You could do anything in your house. Yoga, kickboxing, whatever it may be. Something you enjoy. You gotta make it enjoyable. You know, make sure you get you make sure you absolutely make it enjoyable for yourself. But I feel like it's like the little things like this that really help you in life. Setting your morning routine up, you know, it'll set off your whole day. You'll have a better capacity of dealing with stress. You'll be able to, you know, make better decisions. Your mental will be more focused, more energized. You know, you'll be able to learn more. Your knowledge will be expanded more. This is all from doing the exercise in the morning and stuff like that. And the meditating helps as well. But that's all I got. I hope this gave you some insight and helped you out in the morning, because I know it sucks to wake up, especially to wake up, go to the job you don't want and stuff like that. So, or, you know, just to get up and work or whatever it may be, whatever your situation is. But if you set up an hour for yourself, whatever it may be, even if it's 30 minutes, and just divide it in between. Start small. Maybe just start moving your body in the morning for 10, 15 minutes. See how that goes and just build it up. But also, when you wake up, hydrate. Drink water, because when you was sleeping throughout the night, you became dehydrated, and that makes you like kind of fatigued, kind of tired. And instead of grabbing that cup of coffee, you know, first thing, drink some water, and then wait an hour or something and drink your coffee if you want. But these are all suggestions, you know what I'm saying? Do what you feel is right for yourself. And yeah, that's it. See you at the next one. Thank you for your support, and as always, be free.